What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. My name is Mike. Joining me again for the Wandavision finale is my sister Jenny.
Are you guys psyched? I'm psyched.
I'm so psyched. Okay, so there's a lot of unanswered questions that we have with this show. Starting to realize we're probably not going to get answers to a lot of the ones we want. Monica Rambeau didn't appear in the last episode, but the mid-credit scene from the previous episode had Quicksilver showing up, and so maybe there's a chance they're going to...
We've got, like, Monica and Quicksilver out there doing something, and Darcy and Vision 2.0 out there doing something. So, you know, we know we're probably going to see those.
So maybe we'll get a Monica and a Quicksilver battle. Maybe we'll get a Vision...
versus Vision.
Hex Vision versus White Vision battle. I think most people are anticipating that the most because Paul Bettany had sort of teased that there was an actor that he wanted to work with, and it turned out that it's like probably just him.
I think it's himself.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about himself, man.
So one thing I wanted, like, I don't want to have too many expectations for this episode. I know it's going to be awesome, but we don't want to set ourselves up for disappointment.
Matt Shackman gave an interview in Entertainment Weekly this week where he said, you know, this isn't going to answer all of your questions, and some fans are going to be disappointed that their questions don't get answered or their theories don't pan out. And I'm sort of setting my expectations at that level, not to be disappointed, but just to enjoy whatever it's going to be. Yeah. Like, I trust this is going to be a faithful conclusion to this particular story. And I think what we have to remember, all of us, is that, you know, this is the conclusion of this particular project, but this show exists within a much larger universe, and the story's not over, and the characters aren't done either. Many of these folks are coming right back in other projects. We got so much to look forward to.
So this is really just
this
like
is not the
chapter.
end. This is the beginning.
Anyway, we don't want to speculate too much because we don't want to
set
ourselves up for disappointment. So we're just going to dive right in and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
I think they're still in her basement.
My powers work out here. Did you forget? No, dear. I'm counting on it.
She's trying to draw those powers out. Yeah, baby.
Okay. Oh, she can steal it.
They take power from the undeserving.
Oh, like all her other sister witches. Oh, yo magic! She took yo magic!
You're clearly in over your little red head. And I'll let you keep this pathetic little corner of the world all to yourself.
Whew.
Dude, what? Wizard of Oz!
Wizard of Oz!
Just her boots. White Vision.
How much does he know?
Nothing.
Is it really you?
Wanda. And I was told you were powerful.
Oh, dude.
Vision versus Vision!
I know why you made this world, but this...
I can fix it.
Can you?
T-1000.
Man.
Your ex and your boyfriend together at the same party.
Wanda!
Waste your breath, babe. No one can hear you from in here.
Oh my god, the guitar!
Gloriously out of tune guitar.
The, like, man cave. What?
Wait, okay, so he has
He
some kind of
touched
strength
her,
too.
Yeah. Is
he, like,
he
flicked
not
her.
himself?
No, definitely not.
You must be destroyed. I know that.
He took the stone!
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He didn't?
No, he just...
I thought for a minute he plucked the stone out of his head.
Oh.
My friends at Quantico will probably have something to say about your plan when they arrive inside the hour.
He's texting him behind his back.
Bluffing.
Am I?
Am I?
We're done here.
Yes.
Go, Woo.
Yeah,
You're a
Woo.
real one.
Badass.
Woo is a real one.
I've got a situation and I was hoping you could get here inside the hour.
Did you know there's an entire chapter devoted to you in the Darkhold?
The Darkhold.
That's the Book of the Damned.
It's the book in her basement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a witch. No one taught me magic.
Your power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme. It's your destiny to destroy the world.
Oh, there's Dottie.
My name is Sarah. I have a daughter. She's 8. Maybe she could be friends with your boys. If you like that storyline. Really anything. If you could just
She's begging
let
her
out
for
of her
anything.
room.
Please.
If I could just hold her.
Let her out of her room. She's in stasis, like,
You're making
out of
her
the
say
way.
this. She's your meat puppet. I just cut her strings.
Whew. She's releasing everyone.
Mm-hmm. They're all gonna be after her now.
They're all gonna be pissed.
Oh, it's like zombies.
What is this stuff?
This is my man cave.
Agnes doesn't
What?
You do. Ralph Boner?
Boner.
How is she controlling you?
You want to tussle again?
So wait,
But how does he
yeah,
look?
I don't know.
That...
I don't know.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, she's feisty.
Purple.
Please, spare my life.
Nice to meet you, Ralph.
What's wrong? We've got to go.
Come on, Billy.
You're all going to be fine.
When you let us sleep, we have your nightmares.
I've kept you safe. We feel your pain.
Your grief is poisoning us.
Dear God.
Oh my goodness, this is horrifying.
Heroes don't torture people.
Uh-oh. There goes the hex.
She's cracking the hex.
This is it. We're going in.
Oh my God. Oh, he's...
The outside world
Yep.
is getting to him already. They're gonna have to integrate his consciousness into White Vision's body if he's gonna survive. Oh man.
Save Westview or save your family.
Only now Hayward and his men are inside.
Oh God, both hands.
Who's the threat now?
Yeah, everybody, all at once.
Every man for
Versus
himself.
the 4 of them.
Your mother and I never really prepared you for this.
But you were born for it.
Quite literally.
Someone's got to talk some sense into White Vision.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, there you go.
My programming directive is to destroy the Vision.
That's you. Gotta destroy yourself.
But I'm not the true Vision. I request elaboration.
Yes.
This is how it goes.
There you
Yep.
go, buddy. Good.
All right.
Boys, handle the military.
Handle the military.
Just a normal family. Boys, handle the military, please. Wanda's
Tommy just takes all their
Yep.
guns.
Stand down!
Yellow now. Her eyes are all the colors of the spectrum.
Okay, so she can absorb bullets. Cool.
Yep, that's a neat skill. Nice one, kid.
She missed one, but he was like, no problem.
He's like, I got this.
Yeah. Shooting guns at kids. Somebody kill that guy.
I like yours too.
Cowards. Yes, Darcy!
Get it!
Have fun in prison.
Oh, this dude's bad.
When no original plank remains, is it still the ship of Theseus? Neither is the true ship.
Oh, man.
And I do not have one single ounce of original material. I have not retained memories, but you do have the data. May I?
It definitely turned yellow for a sec.
Oh, man.
You're on our side now, bro.
His eyes.
I am Vision. He said, oh.
I am Vision.
The difference between you and me is that you did this on purpose.
We have had zombies, we've had witches. Zombie witch is a new genre on me.
You are the Scarlet Witch.
Power isn't your problem, it's knowledge.
Oh!
Give me your power, and I will correct the flaws in your original spell.
F you, bitch. Yo, this is crazy.
Ooh. She's getting weaker.
There's more. I want it all.
She's just giving her power. Uh-oh.
I want to say it's something about only the witch who cast the runes can...
Yep. She put some runes.
Called it.
Yeah.
Called it. She warded that
She's like,
bitch.
you taught me one thing.
Thanks for the life lesson, Teach.
Excellent.
Sweet trick, Wanda.
Thanks for the lesson. But I don't need you to tell me.
Here comes her energy crowd.
Oh, shit. Yes.
That's right. Claim your power, baby.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Yeah, I call that coming into your own.
Oh, Agnes is about to become a zombie.
I'm gonna take all my power back, and I'm gonna take all yours, too.
Oh, here it is.
Here it is. It's the vision of her future that she saw in the lab. Oh, look at her!
Hell yes!
She's beautiful! Oh, that's amazing.
Even Agatha's like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like I gotta respect.
As she lets her live. Nice.
I'll give you the role you chose. The nosy neighbor.
You have no idea what you've unleashed. You're gonna need me.
If I do, I know where to find you.
Wait. Hi there. Hiya, hun.
Yeah.
Did I leave the oven on, or is that just you, hot stuff?
I'll be seeing you, Agnes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we certainly will.
I know you'll set everything right. Just not for us.
No. Not for us.
Final stage of grief is acceptance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could never truly leave each other, even if we tried.
Good night, chaps.
Night, Dad. Night, Dad.
Thanks for choosing me to be your mom.
Oh my god.
Before I go, I feel I must know. What am I?
Are the piece of the Mind Stone that lives in me. You are my sadness and my hope, but mostly you're my love.
Who knows what I might be next? We have said goodbye before.
We'll say hello again.
So long, darling.
Oh my gosh.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
You don't hate me.
Given the chance and giving your power, I'd bring my mom back.
I don't understand this power, but I will.
Dr. Strange will teach you.
Yeah.
There's more.
There's always.
It's never over.
Authority looks good on you, Jimmy.
Where's Darcy?
Something about debriefs are for the weak.
Captain Rambo, they're asking for you in the theater. It was sent by an old friend of your mother's.
Captain Marvel.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's the
Talos'
Skrull's
daughter.
Talos' daughter.
He'd like to meet with you.
Where?
Or maybe not the daughter, but it is somebody. The Skrull. She's going to space with the Skrulls.
Yeah, and presumably Nick Fury too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on a Skrull spaceship last time we
Let's
saw
see,
him.
Let's see if there's not a second post-credit. There is!
There is! There's more!
always more, dude.
Who's hiding out in northwestern Canada?
Presumably Wanda. So she can't hurt anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Cumberbatch?
He's like, I hear somebody needs some lessons.
I'm looking for my book.
Yeah. Have you seen my book? The Darkhold? Oh. Yep. Alright, wow. That's one of those things you kind of have to digest for a while.
I'm going to need some time to process. Yeah. We're both a little emotional.
We're going to talk about it, obviously.
Got a little misty.
Yeah, like, I'm looking forward to discussing this, like, tomorrow and the next day.
I know.
Once we have a chance to kind of think about everything.
And hopefully we'll do another live stream this weekend with the guys from All New Nerds after we've all had some time to digest and process and think this through and maybe rewatch it.
Yeah.
But,
you know
it's really sort of like hitting me in a physically heavy way.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of heaviness in there. You know what's, honestly, to be perfectly honest, like, this almost kind of went the way I expected it.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
That's kind of like the episode I thought it was going to go down like that. And I'm happy with it.
They answered a lot of questions for us. There are some things that we might just have to let go that we've asked that are maybe less important. Like, one of the things I had wondered was, like, who was Wu's witness protection person? Or, like, why is the thing hexagon shaped? And those might be, like, little details that we just have to let go
right
of.
Down to the, like, Dottie just ended up being a lady who was like, I have a daughter.
Please
let me
leave
do
me
it.
alone.
Let me see her. Let me hug her. Yeah, so it was like, okay, there were a lot of threads that they, like, started and then they kind of, it ended up just being a red
and a lot
herring,
of misdirection. There was a lot of deliberate misdirection, like the rabbit on the postman's hat, or Dottie seeming to have more power than she did. There were a lot of things that were obviously deliberate.
I don't feel let down by that. There's only one thing that remains like, what the hell for me, and that's the fake Pietro. Yeah, where it was like Ralph Boner. How come he looks like?
Or is that
how
also?
Come it's Evan Peters? Why is it?
Right. If it's Evan Peters, who we know played that exact character that he's playing.
Yeah.
In a franchise that Disney Marvel now owns. Why? That makes so little sense to me. I'm not even ready to have a theory about it because I have to think about it.
There must be a further, deeper explanation for that, why they would pull in Evan Peters specifically.
Right. As opposed to just some random guy who kind of looks like her brother or something. As opposed to some random actor. The fact that it's him specifically playing that character specifically has to be more important than he's just some bonehead actor.
Yeah. So for me,
although
that's the
that
one
was
thing.
Hilarious, I will say that was like the comic relief in an otherwise extremely serious, extremely heavy episode. That was hilariously funny.
Yeah, there were a couple of like laugh out loud moments in this for sure, despite all of the heaviness. But yeah, that was the one part for me that was like,
there's something else that we're
clearly
gonna
unanswered situation there going on.
That's not just accidental. There has to be more to that.
Yeah, and I was really happy with the Vision versus Vision and how it was like, it seemed obvious, but I liked it that it was like he's gonna have to defeat him with his mind, with revealing to him that he's the real Vision.
So first of all, like, snaps to Paul Bettany for some like double duty acting in some very heady dialogue this week. That conversation about the ship of Theseus.
Yeah, the planks of the ship, yeah.
I mean, there are parts of that seem obvious. We talked a little bit last week about whether consciousness equals personhood.
Yeah.
So what makes a person him or herself? Is it the consciousness? Is it the body? Is it a combination of both? We talked about how original Vision was more than the sum of his parts.
Yeah.
And they touched on that in the final scene where she said, you're all of these things. He said, what am I?
Yeah.
And she was like, you're a piece of the Infinity Stone. You're my memory. You're my love. Like, all of these things.
Yeah.
And just the same thing that I said last week, as with the original Vision, he's more than the sum of his parts.
Yeah. You know what else is super significant, though? Is that he before Vision disappeared or whatever, he did get a chance to put his memories into
White Vision.
So White Vision is Vision
also
again.
has that consciousness now too.
Yeah.
That's, oh my gosh. So, you know,
That's the little back door for like, oh, she doesn't have to have him die again. Like, he will come back to her as White Vision now because he does have the memories.
The memories, the
He's a little
consciousness,
creepy,
another piece
but-
of the personhood of the original Vision. You know, one of them has pieces of the original body but rebuilt the way he was talking about rebuilding the ship.
Yeah.
But no, you know, but the memories were stored away, and the other has a synthetic body, fully magic, not only synthetic but like magically synthetic, and only a piece of original consciousness. And like, what does that all add up to? It's a really complicated issue that is gonna, I think, continue to be an issue. Like, they're each their own person, but they're all him at the same time. It's deep, man.
You know what? Like, I think it was a little unclear whether that lady at the end that called on Monica was the same Major Goodner lady. It's possible that she turned back into a Skrull there. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the same lady or it was just another Skrull.
I don't think that's. We both initially thought, ooh, Talos' daughter, because she and Monica would be about the same age.
Yeah.
But I feel like if that were the case, Monica would have immediately recognized her. Or they were buddies, right?
She basically was just like, we need your help up there, right?
I think all we need to know is it's a Skrull who is masquerading as an FBI lady.
Which makes me wonder also is obviously like Monica was able to absorb bullets. Like she was able to literally she's bulletproof essentially. And she did some other things too, but is she also able to like fly through outer space like Captain Marvel, I wonder?
I don't think we know the extent of her powers yet. She probably doesn't know the extent of her powers yet.
Yeah, that's true.
But they need her on board the Skrull ship, which is the last place we saw Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, yeah.
So presumably we'll see Monica come back in
Samuel L. would be great.
In a Samuel L. Storyline.
We don't know when that's going to happen though. I was actually kind of, and that second post-credit scene where we were like, oh, we're going to get Doctor Strange showing up being like, have you seen my book? Like, where's my book?
Right.
But at the very least, Wanda was in there reading from the Darkhold, practicing.
So the Darkhold is interesting. That it's, you know, we had talked a bit about that during one of our live streams. What the Darkhold is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we saw a version of the Darkhold. I think it's a different book or copy of the book physically than the one that was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that book was sort of poison to whoever touched it in a way. It created evil and it destroyed people's lives, and it was part of the Ghost Rider storyline in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And the significant thing about it was that it allowed people to defy the laws of quantum physics by creating something out of nothing. So the same chaos magic that Wanda has. I think it's significant that was
it makes me actually kind of surprised that she was messing with the book, considering Agatha was basically like, that's the Book of the Damned. Like, you think she would be like,
Book of the Dead.
Don't open that book. Yeah, like, stay away from that magic. But I guess since she took the clue that like she needs to learn things about her power. Obviously, not just so that she knows the extent of her powers, but that she has control over it and isn't going to harm people.
Well, in this...
She physically, distanced herself and put herself in the wilderness.
This is something else we talked about last week, was redemption. You know, someone who has done bad things. She hurt people in the course of this show. And we really saw that sort of zombie...
She even strangled all of the townspeople.
Yeah, even in the middle of that, sort of reflexively, not... you know, deliberately, but wasn't able to control it. She doesn't have that much control over her own powers yet. But we really saw that when all the people were coming at her and repeating their personal traumas all at once. It was like a psychological zombie attack. You know, and she could hear all their voices in her head. I was thinking of the kid when he said it's so noisy. Like she could hear all of them and she could feel all of them.
It's actually ironic considering like all of these people are technically walking around like zombies, but then they wake up and act like zombies.
There were a lot of like cute little reverses like that. Like in the first few episodes, they'd have to change out of their, magic clothes and put on normal person clothes to leave the house. But in this case, they sort of took off their superhero outfits and went into normal clothes to go into the house for the last time, which was really poignant.
She did get her upgraded Scarlet Witch outfit too.
Beautiful.
Which was kind of like a combination of like her old outfit and the comics. With less leotard looking, and more.
This was
action.
a very fitting. It was like armor, befitting somebody of this power. But yeah, I mean, the thing about, just to finish that thought about the book, she chose the side of good. She chose the side of redemption. She made a sacrifice for the greater good.
Yeah.
And managed to defeat all the bad guys at once, and was definitively a good guy. the end of the Westview storyline, and the question is that Darkhold has been no good so far in the MCU. That has, turned good people bad, destroyed entire lives, killed people. And so the question is this going to have a dangerous effect on her? Does she have the potential to go super dark? I don't know.
Yes, clearly, because now, like, the way this just ended is, like, obviously, like, they're not going to kill children, like, but they've now demonstrated that Billy and Tommy are, like, calling to her from, we're assuming, hell or, some other dimension. Yeah. So she's going to start using this dark magic again, whether she knows that it's bad, but she might be like, well, my children need help.
And it's
I said this, that she could, that her motives lie entirely in saving her children, everything else becomes irrelevant, whether good, bad, who gets harmed. Like, she was willing to let them go there because she realized she didn't have any other option. Same with Vision. Like, she had to say
again, the
goodbye
final
to them.
stage of
But
grief
here, if
is
they're like, if
acceptance.
she realizes they still exist outside of her magic and are calling for her help, nothing will stop her.
Well, this brings us to the idea of the Nexus,
them.
the sort of gateway between dimensions and between realities, and in theory, she is one of the only Nexus beings. She's one of the only ones that can control that Nexus. So maybe Doctor Strange is necessary to help her learn how to access that power.
Yeah.
We did sort of play out, there is this recurring theme in the show that we see throughout the sci-fi fantasy world, that when you bring something back, it comes back different. It's the Pet Cemetery rule, they come back, they come back different and bad, and it's it's that idea of zombies. You bring something back to life that was supposed to be dead, you're messing with the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, and it never turns out well. And this entire show was an extended version of that. She, in a way, she didn't actually bring back a dead body like we thought. She created a body.
Although in that vision for a second, she did kind of reanimate Agatha's mother and sister witches.
It's been a recurring theme in the show, though, that like when you do that, it's not tenable. Whether it's bringing back a dead body or creating a fake body or whatever version of that she's been doing, it's not tenable. You can't sustain that, as we saw in this episode. And so there's a question of, I don't think they're just going to replay that entire sort of philosophical concept with the Billy and Tommy thing. It's going to have to go in a slightly different direction to avoid redundancy. But at the same time, what you're saying is accurate. Those are her children. She can hear them. They're out there. In some dimension, they're real.
Yeah, and it sounded like they were,
and she's got a very bad,
souls.
evil book at her disposal. And, like, what is she... what's she going to do?
One can only
with that?
imagine that Doctor Strange is going to come into play at some point. Not only because, like, Agatha did say specifically, "You're more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme." That's a very
and also because
line.
Elizabeth Olsen's in the movie. She's cast.
Yeah.
Like, she's in the movie. We know.
I just feel like even
coming,
though here in this context we've seen her choose the side of good, like realize she was hurting people, and then like made a sacrifice to like right her wrong or whatever.
Yep.
I still think there's enormous potential for her to be an antagonist.
100%.
Especially in relation to Doctor Strange, because
100%.
If they've made that allusion to like you're more powerful than him, he may have something to say about that.
Yeah,
especially
because he has an ego on him.
Yes,
the size of Manhattan.
So I'm anticipating the Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange matchup at some point. Obviously they're not going to, it's not going to be to the death, but there's going to be a battle between those two.
So a couple things to look forward to, because we know Elizabeth Olsen's in Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, so that whole dynamic about her potentially going bad and the interaction between these two incredibly powerful sorcerers, that's something to look forward to. We saw Monica's spectrum showing at first when she was outside Agatha's basement and her blue spectrum eyes turned purple. There was a lot of speculation, including by us, that that was because she was under Agatha's spell and Agatha's power was purple. But then we saw her eyes go yellow at the end. I think it's that she can change all colors of the spectrum, and whatever color it is probably a different skill set. So she probably has a whole bunch of different powers that we haven't even seen yet.
Well, we did see, not only did she absorb the bullets, but then when the one that she missed, she turned around to look at it, so we know she can move.
She's got all kinds of wacky skills that are yet to be revealed. It looks like she's going to be entering a Skrull storyline, and we know that the actors who played the Skrull couple are reprising their roles as the Skrull couple.
Also,
That's
she
been
did have a
announced.
quick little line where she like turned around to Billy and Tommy and she was like, "Nice tricks, boys," or something like that. It was, to me, that was a little hint of like, oh, they're going to be on the same team.
Yeah, we're totally. There's going to be some new Avengers.
Billy and Tommy and Monica are definitely three of the players.
100%, 100%.
100%.
And I think there's going to be more to this Evan Peters Quicksilver.
Yeah, that was
saga.
so
that was too
unanswered.
weird and so many
And we
things
didn't get
unanswered about that.
any of him past that one scene of him just like in his
And if
man
he
lair
is
with
just,
his guitar.
and if he is just Ralph Boner,
yeah,
and that's a complete, even if that was a complete misdirect, which I don't believe. But if that were true, why wasn't he like in the town ever before? Why wasn't he like one of the random townspeople? Nothing about that makes sense. So I think we're going to see more.
Yeah.
About that in future.
I hope so, because I don't want to just like, you know.
Yeah. Also, like, big ups to Darcy and Wu, who are moving up in the world. I'm so proud of both of them.
Yeah, I guess Hayward really, at the end of the day, just was
he
just
was
a bad
just
guy. Just
you
a
know,
regular...
we talked a little bit about that
Wasn't
scene.
Mephisto in disguise? It was just...
Mephisto did not show his face, not for now anyway.
He just wanted to kill Wanda and...
But you know, we had talked a little bit about this. You had brought up that scene where he talked about the snap and said to Monica, you don't know what it was like.
Sure, yeah.
And it does humanize him a little. To imagine, like, what it must have been like for him to go through that. And I think there's a justifiable resentment of powered people, of superheroes.
Yeah.
Under those circumstances, he just went way too far. He just, you know, his vengeance got the better
he wanted
of
to
him.
get the sentient weapon, the Vision, working again too, but that also, when Hex Vision convinced White Vision that he was also indeed Vision, and he just goes, "I am Vision," and then he flew away. Where did he go? Did he leave the Hex?
Well, there was that big drop of, like, you know, he's a Vision saying he said goodbye multiple times before.
Yeah.
In different forms, and he was like, I was just a voice without a body, and then I was like a body with no soul, and who knows what I'll be next. So we're gonna find out what he's gonna be next, and I'm sure White Vision's a part of that.
And like Agatha Harkness, I'm a little confused as to how like she turned her back into the nosy neighbor, but then got rid of the Hex. So how does
but
she
she
keep
says,
Agatha...
I know where to find you if I need you, like... You know,
how does she keep Agatha, you know, chained down without the Hex, though, is kind of what I'm saying.
I think she just cast, like, a personal memory spell. It's some other... I don't know what is in Wanda's bag of tricks, but it's not the same spell as the Hex. It's just she, you know...
I guess, yeah.
Put her under a personal
That was
spell.
also very strategic. Very, okay, like, what, White Vision, definitely coming back. Agatha Harkness, clearly coming back.
She's the most popular character on the whole show.
When they even have a specific line where they're like, I'll be seeing
that
you
Catherine
again.
Hahn meme of her, like, winking, you know, with the big face, that's, like, the most popular meme on the whole internet right now.
And that's
She's coming
actually,
back.
I like when they have villains in that capacity where it's like, they're bringing you back even though you're a bad guy, just because we need your help right now, kind of thing. They're gonna, it'll be in that capacity where it'll be like, well, she's a bad witch, but we need somebody with her knowledge.
We've seen a similar thing with Loki, you know, happen throughout the movies, which we saw some great concept art from Loki come out this week, by the way, so we'll talk about that.
Maybe Wanda will need to know something about the Darkhold, and her and Doctor Strange will be like, we don't know, like, how this works or whatever, and she'll be like, I know somebody that knows how to do this.
Right.
Like, it'll be that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and they'll
totally.
And they'll be like, hey, we need your help.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, I think Loki is a good analogy for that type of character, which is that sometimes Loki has fought in Thor's battles or the Avengers battles, but he's never really on Thor's side. He's only on his own side.
Yeah.
And I think Agatha has a similar sort of set of motivations. She survived all these years by herself on her own side, and that would be great to see her come back in future storylines.
All right, so we're going to keep most of this discussion for live stream, hopefully tomorrow. There's a lot to talk about. Overall, WandaVision was awesome. This is an excellent show on many levels. I think it originally, like, towards the beginning of the season, it was more of a stylistic, like, wow, this is very interesting. I haven't seen anything like this.
It was something new aesthetically to be mixing up genres and time periods.
They definitely, like, over the course of the season, brought us more into the sort of MCU. Like, now it's perfectly clear how all of this connects into MCU, and at the end of the day, this really did serve as like an origin story for like multiple characters: Scarlet Witch, Agatha Harkness, Spectrum, Monica Rambeau,
Tommy and Billy.
Yeah, so like this is the
White
first
Vision.
chapter of Phase 5, and we're already like being introduced to all of the players.
Phase 4, but yes.
Oh yeah, Phase 4. Sorry. Anyway, so we've been introduced to all of these new characters, and they did it was a great job. I mean,
this is the only thing.
I want to see more with Billy and Tommy.
I have thought about this like
Monica
all
Rambeau.
week, not only this week, but for the past 8 weeks. I saw somebody say something really lovely on Twitter, which is that this show had single-handedly reminded her of the value of the week-to-week drop.
Yeah.
And she said if this had, followed the Netflix model and dropped the entire season at once, there would have been a big conversation, Twitter would have gone wild, and then that would have died out weeks ago.
Yeah, I deal with that here just on the reaction channel in general. Like,
Totally.
I've always, Mandalorian has been perfect for the week-to-week style thing, is where there's a drop every week and people can continuously...
But what this person said that I thought was really beautiful was that because of the week-to-week nature and the fact that we're all so excited for the next episode every week, it's created a community online. Like, that a community has sprung up with people literally just sharing their enthusiasm and excitement over something as simple as a television show, which is like a very, very welcome antidote to the cascading series of global crises we're all living through. It's been really great for us to do this together. I mean, it's definitely sort of like brought us closer together. It's been something really fun for us to do together as siblings, but we also genuinely enjoy engaging with all of you, in the comments or during our live streams, and you're part of that beloved community for us as well, so thank you for sticking with us over the past 8 weeks.
Thank you, guys. I think, so Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming next for Marvel. And,
2 weeks.
We've talked about how it seems like that's probably less, how do you want to say?
Trippy?
Yeah, it seems like more of a straightforward...
Like a grounded buddy cop type show. But it's also the MCU, so we never know what's going to happen. And there was a really cool looking trailer that came out this week. That made it look certainly very pretty to look at. Yeah. So I'm
And also,
psyched.
we're going from, Wanda and Vision, who have these, crazy powers, to, Bucky has super strength and a metal arm, but he and Falcon are essentially still just, human beings.
Yeah, and Falcon's power relies on tech. He just has a really cool suit.
So, we'll be moving out of, the magical and into more of the pragmatic, or how do you want to...
Science and tech sort of superpower world.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about this week. We loved this episode. I'm glad we didn't, pretend like there had to be Mephisto or Doctor Strange or Professor X in order for us to be happy about this.
There was so much. It didn't need it. This was perfect. I thought this was a great conclusion to this chapter.
Yeah, and now that we've seen her hearing Billy and Tommy's souls from hell, we can maybe theorize that that's where Mephisto's going to come into play. She's going to have to go into the hell or something.
Not the end of the story, guys. Just the end of this chapter. There's so much to look forward to.
All right, guys. Let us know what you thought about in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.